said, I'm going to do Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, Season 1, Episode 11. Well, it started off with Nia, and Morgan, and they're just talking about her miscarriage and how she had to tell Soulja Boy through a text message about the miscarriage, and how he blocked her on Twitter and Instagram or whatever. And I'm like, these are teenagers that's trying to play grown up. Soulja Boy's not ready to be a dad. He's not ready to be a boyfriend. He's not ready to be a father. He's not ready to be nothing but Soulja Boy. Period. That's all he worried about. The moment they get into it, he shuts her out. There's no talking. He barely wants to talk to her. Like, girl, count your losses and your blessings and keep that shit pushing. That's all I can tell her. Speaking of them, she goes to the studio to talk to him about it. He's talking about he was hurt, she was hurt. Irrelevant. That's how I feel about their whole relationship. It's so irrelevant and is whatever. So Hazel in the studio, pumped up about her song, because she's the only one that's pumped up. Well, I guess now the dude, Doc, her manager, producer, whatever, they in the studio working or whatever. I can't knock her shit, she working. So, this turd is irritating me with this wrong. I'm bad. But anyway, so they talking or whatever about all the drama that she's been going through with Berg, and how Berg gave her the song and then got mad at the song. Then how he gave it to Masika, how he's working with Tiara. So the dude is just like, girl, you need to focus on you. You don't need to be dealing with all that. You don't need to be talking to Masika no more. With your friendship with Tiara, that can be worked out. So that was that. Tiara, Nikki, and Fizz go out. She's trying to hook Nikki and Fizz up on this blind date. And I'm like, why? They don't even match. Like, why? But okay, we gonna roll with this. That they go and just talk about their past relationships and how they both been hurt and how whatever. And then they flirt with each other and Tiara taking photos of them so they can post them on Instagram, probably to be messy. And then they talk about going out. She was like, you ain't even asked me out. He was like, I'm not. I'm just going to tell you when I pick you up. I'm like, if this was from a grown man with a suit on and some nice shoes, I would be like, ooh, that's sexy. That's taking control. But coming from Fizz, I'm like, this a little ass boy. I'm like, little boy, calm down, calm down. So, anyway, they end up, Fizz, let's get that out the way. Fizz and Nikki end up going out or whatever. Look like they met up in the same place but a different location part of it. Just saying. But they meet up and they're, like I said, they're talking about past relationships or whatever, and who cares. Then they talked about Moniece, because he asked her about how does she feel about having kids, and she was like, everybody have kids these days. I'm cool with it. If everybody is involved, is cool with it, I'm cool with it. Okay, that's cool. I give her that. And then she started asking about, like, Moniece. Like, what does she do? He pissed me off because, okay, I understand you giving your person a heads up of the situation they gonna get into or whatever, but nobody believes this bullshit ass date. And I hate when a person just paint a fucked up picture just on anybody that the person hasn't met. And to me, you mad at Moniece for painting a fucked up picture of you, but you constantly paint a fucked up picture of her. Constantly. I don't get that. Now, I'm not saying she right and all the shit she do, but Fizz ain't right in this whole fucking situation either. And like Moniece say, he say what he want to say and then can't fucking take it. Because when he was talking to Nikki, talking about, because Nikki was being a grown up in the situation and was like, she said, he told her that Moniece had a dildo line or whatever, and she was like, shit, I own strip clubs, maybe we can talk and we can work together, you know, make some goddamn money. He over there like, you don't want to meet up with her. She crazy. And I'm like, really, sis? Really? Come on now. Really? So speaking of Moniece, she's at the house singing, working on her talent, and with her cousin that works for the boys, but he doing it for $3.99. So hey, I ain't mad at her. Hell, get your vocals on if it's free. But so they end up talking about, you know, her and Fizz's relationship with the baby and how they can't get it right with co-parenting and how he made things harder for her knowing her situation, because she had let us know that she fell on hard times and she lived with her mom, and then her parents, and after living with them she moved in a situation that's not really good, but it was like what she had to do or whatever. And then she was talking about how, because apparently this is like still filming, or just like, well, they just wrapped it up with the reunion, but apparently they were still filming from the first time we all reviewed episode 1, and how he talked about her, and then how she went to the blogs and talked about him, and how she's not this bad mom. And I had seen on Instagram the picture she posted with her son, and it was pictures way before that Love and Hip Hop came on. So I don't know. I'm not saying she didn't do it, what is accusing her of, but like I said, I had seen previous pictures before the show started coming on or talked about or whatever, of her and her son spending time with him, whether she took a picture with him and left. A lot of them pictures was in her house or wherever house they was staying at or whatever, because a lot of pictures were them in the bed. It wasn't just no outside, hey, let's take a picture. Some of that shit was in the house with pajamas on, them playing. So I don't get that. Like I said, Fizz want to throw dirt on her, but don't want to throw dirt on him, and then try to make himself look like the good guy when they met up or whatever. Talking about, he tried to make himself look like a good guy in the confessionals. But then the way he acts and talk to her, you can tell it's more to their fucking relationship than what he is saying. I believe that she cussed him out like she owned up to. I believe that he called her some bitches that he need to own up to. I believe that they got into some physical, whether it was punching, pushing, or whatever. They got into some bullshit. Maybe she hit on him and then he pushed her back. I don't know, but I do believe both of them have got physical. The way he was talking about how he got the baby when the baby was 7 to 8 months and she came back 2 years later. Okay, but we here now. So now what? We here now. So let's move forward. She's trying to be there. Y'all need to work this out. This is what I'm saying about little kids having kids and not ready to have them, motherfuckers are not mature enough to grow the fuck up when a kid gets here. Like, I had a baby young too. Well, probably wasn't as young as them, but I had a baby young too. But we realized that we were going to be parents, so we coexisted with each other to this day. And my son is about to be 18 next month, and me and his dad today talked on the phone. We still cordial. Like, when it comes to our son, we leave it at that. That's all we talk about is our son. That's it. And that's what grown, mature ass people do. All this mudslinging, hell no. I never would have done him like that. I've never heard him do me like that. My child have never heard either one of us talk about each other bad in a negative way. No. Cause that just make the kids play on that. And then you never know what the little boy saying to mama. You never know what the little boy saying to daddy. And then it starts the fucking argument and nobody ever fucking grows up. I'm just saying. They whole little thing irritates me because they're parents that need to figure it out for their kid. They do. Sorry that I got so wrapped up in they damn problems. But anyway, Brandy meets up with no, let's not talk about Brandy them yet. Let's talk about Omarion and April. They're in the bathroom talking. She's talking about how she's stressed out, and he's just basically like, why? She's telling him about her mom. And he's basically telling her it's a process, it's a wait, it's, you know, your mom haven't dealt with her issues yet, so it's hard to do it with you if she ain't worked on herself. And I get that. So, he told her, like, how long are you willing to wait? And she was like, I don't have no choice. So he was like, you know, that's what we got to do. He was being very, very supportive of him. And I'm telling y'all, the more and more they show them the only ones I like. Then they start talking about giving each other head. And I was like, y'all always fuck it up with too much information. But anyway, so Hazel meets up with Tiara. Hazel meets up with Tiara to talk or whatever, because her producer manager told her it was a good idea for them to work that shit out. So everything to me was going good. They were both telling each other how sorry they was and how Berg was wrong and how Berg made her, he played a part in her feeling the way she felt, which is true. He did play a part in it, and she said she wore her heart on her sleeve, so it was hard to listen to her friend and stuff like that. And Hazel apologized, and to me, Tiara wasn't too much apologizing. She just kept saying, you hurt me. Yeah, you did this. Yeah, I said this. But it never really was too much of an apology from Tiara to me. But then Hazel fucks it up and tell her that she think she give her an ultimatum, like if they gonna work this out and be cool with each other, she can't do the song with Berg. And I'm like, that's dumb. And even Tiara like, that's absurd, that's dumb. Like, you crazy if you think that's what's gonna be in our relationship. And Tiara walks out, and I would have too, because I would have been like, it was going good, Hazel, and then you just fucked it up. Anyway, let's talk about Ray J. He meets up with Brandy, and she basically like, what's going on with you? What's your problem? And he's telling her about Princess and how he met up with his mom and how everybody liked Tiara. And he just venting like a bitch. I don't know. I mean, his brother and sister talk, so okay. So he telling her all this stuff about Princess and Morgan and how Princess is hearing this stuff and how he heard all this stuff from Tiara when he went to go apologize to her or whatever. Brandy kept just telling him, like, it's your situations, it's your environment, they're not good for you. She basically was saying that Princess is not good for him. So he said it. So apparently Brandy and the mama don't like Princess. So she was just basically telling him, the women that's in your life, you know, you creating this drama, you putting yourself in these situations, but the women in your life is not good for you. She was like, everything Princess is hearing, she's hearing from Morgan, and you know what I'm saying, that's going to mess up your relationship. Yeah, I get that you listening to your friends or whatever can mess up your relationship, but I'm sorry, girls do that. We talk to our friends about our relationship. I do too. I talk to them about my relationship, but I don't go in depth about my relationship. I don't say, well, it's all bad. That ain't nobody's fucking business but me and his. But, you know what I'm saying? So I get what girls talk to their so-called friends about their relationships and stuff like that. And Princess thought that was her friend. So Brandy said she was going to be watching him, whatever. He too grown to be watched. But so Princess and Ray J beat up for dinner and they toast into loyalty and all this kind of shit. Then he just go in and was like, well, if we're going to be loyal, you can't be telling motherfuckers our business, because I was talking to Tiara and Tiara told me that you told Morgan all about baseball players and this and that, and she just was like, well, Morgan is like family to me. You introduced her to me. You had this girl around me. That's who I was talking to. She said, did she say that Morgan be watching our son and our dog? So do she got a son? Cause did I miss some shit? But okay. So they arguing or whatever, and he's just telling her, well, we gonna change our number, and she ain't gonna have her number, and you ain't gonna talk to her, and you ain't gonna get. The whole time he's talking, I'm like, Ray J is that controlling boyfriend. And to me, I'm starting to believe a little bit of Morgan saying he's abusive, because that's what he was giving me, abusive tease. And he do that with all the girls around him. He do that with Morgan. He do that with Princess. He get all in their face and pointing fingers and yesy. And he just still really controlling and abusive, and he needs to work on that. Talking about he working on his anger management. He needs to work on that, because somebody's gonna get fucked up. I'm just saying. Like, So they arguing or whatever. And she like, are you serious? And because he's talking about, well, maybe we need to break up. And so she started throwing her drinks on him, the food on him, because he was talking about how he went to anger management classes and it's working for him. So she over there trying to push his buttons. He gets up to tell her to stop, like try to grab her to tell her to stop throwing shit. And I'm sitting there like, okay, why are you not calling security to get her? Because, like I said, you look a little suspect on, your little problem. So he gets up to grab her, whatever. She gets up, she pushing him, and he pushes her in the pool. I'm telling y'all, I'm sorry. I laughed so hard when he pushed her in the pool because I was like, that you lucky he did not hit you. This is what I'm talking about. Girls is not knowing their limits on putting their hands on no man. Only reason why I think she was doing that shit is because they was on camera and she knew he couldn't hit her. Because I think if they was off camera, he would have mushed her or something. I'm just saying, he gave me that tease. So, yeah, that shit. Then she tried to run in the house and go after him, but all the people that was in the house that was filming and crew, they wouldn't let her in the house, and he just walked up the stairs. And I kept saying, damn, is that Mama Sonia right there? Because, that wig, she got that certain wig. But I was just like, girl, count your losses and move on. They over there, he trying to make her mad. She bringing up Floyd. He bringing up Tierra. I'm like, this is just ignorance. Then y'all got... Apparently they showed up at the reunion together or something. So this must have happened before the reunion and then they were still together or they got back together. I don't know, but really? Y'all need to grow the fuck up right there. Because you damn near my age. You need to grow the fuck up. Grow the fuck up. Stop playing with little ass girls. Get a real ass woman. Get some damn help and grow the fuck up. Because dealing with messy people is going to get you hurt. I'm just saying. Especially being in LA. It's going to get you fucking hurt. That's my review for Love and Hip Hop Hollywood Season 1, Episode 11. Tell me your thoughts if I missed anything. I'm trying to go through my list to see if I missed anything, but I don't think I did. If I did, you can leave it in the comment section and we'll talk about it there. That's what our community is about. We forget something, you tell us, and we keep on communicating. So anyway, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+, Xbox Live. I do everything by The Ghetto View, THA, not THE. Make sure you check out Ashley Miller, Mike B, Squeaky Jones, New Orleans Lil. And let's pray for Ferguson. Let's pray for everywhere. All around the world is already starting looting after the indictment announcement. So let's just pray for the inner city and pray for the young people, our future generations, because if this keep going on, we don't have no future. So yeah, let's just pray to unite. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't want nobody tripping. Let's just pray to unite. That's what my channel was about. Alright, you guys, peace out.